Hey horse friends, welcome back to our channel where we discuss horse care and nutrition. Today we're going to go over how to unsaddle your horse. I know our last video was saddle parts and saddling your horse, but we thought it would be fun to teach you how to unsaddle your horse. And last time we were using my son's kid saddle. Today we're using my saddle, and I have a couple additional parts on my saddle that my son didn't. So I want to cover those as well. So over the basic parts of the saddle, like we discussed in the last video, you have your seat, of course, that's where your butt goes. We also have the pommel, which is where your horn sticks and allows a little notch for your saddle pad to go up in. We also have the cantle with a swell where it keeps you locked into the saddle. Your butt rests back on here. Then down here we have the fenders that hold the stirrups that keep our feet in, and our front cinch and our back cinch, which we did not have on my son's saddle. And we also have our breast collar and our wither strap, which I also did not have on my son's saddle because he just trail rides and has fun with me. He doesn't do any competition. This is my competition rig if I were to barrel race and use this. The breast collar helps keep the saddle in place a little bit better and prevents a little bit of the shifting. The wither strap here just helps keep the breast collar up. This is too big for her. This is meant for my big competition horses, which are huge. They're 16 hands. She's only 14 hands. So this rigging is a little big for her, but for purposes of the video, I wanted to show you what they were. The other part on our saddle here that we didn't have on my son's saddle is the back cinch. Again, for competition, it just helps keep the saddle a little bit better in place. Here we have our little D-ring, and this is what our breast collar and our wither strap is attached to. So we're going to unclip our wither strap here. I typically just chunk all my stuff over and do our breast collar strap here. I did have to triple loop it because it's so big for her, and I usually just bring it over on the front side here. So I unclip it. This is actually clipped underneath here to our cinch. We'll unclip it, pull it all the way over here, and let it rest in the seat. After we've done our breast collar here, we can move over to our cinches. So we want to start with our back cinch first, which is back here, and we're just going to unbuckle it. And that's going to dangle. This doesn't have a keeper, so it's just going to dangle. Here's our front cinch. So we're going to pull the latigo out of the little keeper. Okay, we're going to unbuckle it. We're giving a little snug, pull our buckle down, and start undoing our loops. And our girth will fall down, and now she's uncinched. We're going to take our latigo and keep it nice and neat. We're going to loop it back once, loop it back twice, and then we're going to take the excess and just put it in the keeper. This is how I like to do my rigging. Some people will tie it and do a little T-knot on their ring here. I prefer to put it in the keeper. It all is just a preference. Then we're going to move over to the other side and put our cinches up on the saddle or even in the keepers. Now that we're on the opposite side, we have our rigging that we need to take care of. Now, some people just choose to throw it over. And of course, that is your preference. If you like to keep things a little neater and you don't just want to chunk it over, there are some things you can do to keep your tack in order. So our breast collar, like I said, I used to just throw it over. We can take the buckle that attaches to the cinch and the girth and just clip it onto the breast collar D-ring here. And then we can take our buckle and slide it back through the D-ring on the opposite side. Give it a nice buckle here. And then we can take our front girth, our front cinch, and we can buckle it into the cinch keeper here by simply putting this through the loop and putting the buckle on. Now our back cinch here could essentially also loop through there if I just wanted to put it on the buckle in there. It's all kept nice and neat. It's all on the opposite side. We'll have to undo all this when we go to resaddle her next time. If you're looking to save on your pest control or even your first aid kit items, State Line Tack has you covered. They've given us special discounts for our viewers. Click on the link below and start saving now. This is one of the most essential parts of unsaddling. Keeping your horse comfortable and comfy, of course, is our #1 goal. This is one of the things that you don't want to do because it can make your horse extremely uncomfortable, pull the hair not only on her body, but as well as her mane, and it's just a lot of weight and it's so uncomfortable. Pulling the saddle off like this is not the way to do it. This is so uncomfortable for your horse. You go to pull your saddle off. Try your best to leave the pad on your horse so it doesn't pull with all that weight and pull her hair off underneath the saddle pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the back end of the saddle up a little bit, get my arm up underneath there so that I'm only pulling the saddle off and not the pad. I'm going to go and lift the front end up as well and then pull it off my horse. Lift up here, get the pressure off, and it will allow the pad to stay on your horse when you're taking it off. Set our saddle down. Now we can safely take the pad off, lifting up and pulling off. That way we're not pulling the hair, pulling her mane, and making her extremely uncomfortable when we go to unsaddle. Now that we've fully unsaddled our horse, she's ready to go back in the pasture. If you have any questions about saddling or unsaddling your horse, drop us a comment below. We love to discuss these issues with you. Stay horse awesome, and we'll catch you next time.